All right, so we're live now, waiting for a couple of users to come in and jump in the live stream so we can start with today's class or tutorial. We want to keep on showing you guys the new features that we're coming up here with Perception Neuron. We'll give it a few more minutes so that people can join in, and let's give them a couple of seconds here. Today I have a special guest. Special guest is Ray. He's my colleague here at Neuron, with helping me out today with Perception Neuron. We're going to be showcasing two suits today: Perception Neuron 2.0 and Perception Neuron Pro as well. So let's give a couple of minutes for people to jump in. All right, so just giving it a few more seconds. We're going to leave this video up on the YouTube channel that we have, so that you can review this video for reference in the new features with Real-Illusion and Perception Neuron as well. So if you don't have a chance to see this video live, could not, make sure you send us an email. I'll put the email on one of the slides pretty soon, so you guys can contact us afterwards or any other questions you might have. So let's give it a few more seconds for people to jump in. All right, so I'm just checking here with my team, make sure that we are good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. As I do the slideshow, I'm going to be also checking on the chat. So any questions that come in through the chat as we go along, I will answer them. If I don't get to them, I will get to them towards the end of the presentation. Okay, so let's get started. So the first slide here, Perception Neuron. This is live right now. If you don't have a chance to ask a question now, and you want to get a hold of us after, make sure you send us an email at contact@neuronmocap.com. That is the best form of communication. Send us an email. We'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Any questions regarding plugins, software integration, hardware, anything, you name it, send it to us. We'll respond to you as quickly as possible, so don't forget that. Also, we have a help center. I always love to tell our users, don't forget to check our help center. This help center has a lot of information with most common questions. We have that for you up there, 24/7. Obviously, if there's nothing found there, you can send us an email at contact@neuronmocap.com. All right, so today's live stream is on Real-Illusion's new update. We have a big update with Real-Illusion. These guys are tirelessly working with new features, new updates, and they've done an incredible job with iClone 7. And we're always very excited, very looking forward to new features that they include with upcoming updates. These updates obviously are there for a lot of our users who are from all sorts of backgrounds, from beginners to professionals, and the tools are ideal for any of those skill levels. I myself love to use iClone. It's one of the best 3D packages out there for a lot of different. It's very versatile. So there's this big new update that they released in this month, and that is iClone Motion Live. We updated our packages on our website with the bundles to include the plugins. This is going back. This integration goes back maybe about, the development goes way back for a couple of months to a year. Again, a lot of programming involved under the hood. And these guys have made a big revolution for the mocap industry when it comes to 3D animation and character control. So that's what today's session is today. we're going to be talking about iClone Motion Live and how it works with Perception Run and the new support, the new features that they included. All right. So for those of you who have a big question, we just released Perception Run. We just opened up Perception Run Pro to be sold to the public. Right now it's on pre-order. That'll be available in July, first week of July for shipping. And the good news about it is that it works with iClone 7 and the plugin. So if you have Perception Run 2.0 and thinking about going into Perception Run Pro, never fear. The software and the hardware for Perception Run work hand in hand together. So they do communicate. They're like best buddies, if you will. This works perfect. So that is the big news. We've tested it out. It works great. And of course, the accuracy is much better with Perception Run Pro. So on the next slide here, I want to let our existing dual or solo plugin users that have purchased before July 30th that they actually get grandfathered into this new plugin, Motion Live. So I put a couple information here on the slide so you guys can get a better understanding. There's a link as well on how to upgrade, how to get access to the new update. This is by far one of the best features, one of the best, if you will, one of the best features that iClone, Revolution includes with this upgrade. So everyone who has a dual or solo gets grandfathered in. And with that, I want to say a big thank you to Revolution. Revolution was very nice. They're very. They like to be involved with a lot of the developments with a lot of users and support. And they worked with this plugin for months, years, and they've actually made it available for the current users who purchased before June 30th. Those are the duals and solos. So you guys are also included in that plugin for the existing users. So a big thank you to Revolution for doing that. That comes a long way. Thank you for having that available for our users who purchased before. All right, so the big question is, what is Motion Live? Motion Live is a revolutionary tool that there's nothing quite like it right now in the industry. My background is 3D animation, and I've seen a lot of different data animation work, different pipelines, a lot of different workflows, and a lot of times it's like you're going into like a puzzle. You're basically piecing things together, getting the asset here, getting the data from the one location, and you're stuck with this big mess. And a lot of times it's good and it's bad. There's pros and cons. So that's why there's a pipeline involved. There's a workflow involved. There's a big team involved. And then with Motion Live, as I said, is a revolutionary tool that's just been introduced to the 3D animation world. Is kind of like it's centralizing every data. I'll read this out to you. Motion Live is one and only full body motion capture platform designed for performance animation. Motion Live aggregates motion data streams from industry-leading mocap devices and drives 3D character faces, hands, bodies simultaneously. There's a link at the bottom there that you can, I'll put this on the YouTube live video afterwards. This link gives you more information, more of top to bottom features on Motion Live. This, by far, there's nothing like it at the moment with industry standard. Essentially, it is a plugin that connects to different data from full body, face, hand. So it's kind of a unified system that they've introduced with 3D animation. So going forward, so previously with back when we started with Revolution, they came to us and we were working with them to so that we can provide our solution and bundle together with iClone and the iClone mocap plugin as well. And a lot of the plugins were independent. It was a standalone plugin format. This is the term I loosely use. And iClone, as alone is a great software, but if you want to integrate face data, you want to integrate full body motion data. Previously, you were dealing with different plugins, and when you're dealing with different plugins, you're obviously executing different, programs so that you can get the data, so you can receive the data. We all know that when a system deals like that, it's you're dealing with different limitations of how many different systems you can put at one time, where the data is coming from, and it becomes kind of a bit of a mess when you start working with more plugins when you go down the line. So they started off with a few plugins, 2 or 3. Revolution is adding more plugins as they go along. They're adding new features. So they were thinking 2 steps ahead, and they created this unified plugin so that we can simplify this workflow. Again, I call this a standalone plugin format where you had the mocap data with icon mocap plugin. You had the face tracking data from possibly, for example, face wear. And if you wanted to get hand tracking data, if you didn't have a PN32, you would use leap motion integration. So these are all standalone plugins. You would have to click on them. They will work independent. They really wouldn't communicate with each other. So as a tech TD person, that can be kind of a nightmare. That could be kind of like a struggle because you have to make sure everything is working in line and sync when you're working that way. However, now with Motion Live, Revolution has introduced a unified motion capture system, and they've simplified it like this. You have iClone 7 at the top, that's the software. You have the one plugin called Motion Live. So Motion Live is essentially one of these, it's the door front. It is the plugin that's housing all the information from different points of communication from either face, body, motion capture, or hand motion capture, if you will. So essentially, this is the updated format they introduce. It's simplified, one location where you can find all your motion capture data. And that's the best way that I like to explain it. And then when you look at the unified motion capture with Motion Live, the way that Revolution is dealing with it is that they've introduced a new feature called profiles. So what are profiles? Profiles are different connections either to receive body mocap data, face capture data, or hands capturing data. So this opens up a new world of communication and unifying the data and simplifying your motion, your workflow, your pipeline. If you're a TD, this is a dream come true because everything is this one-stop shop where you get your motion capture data. So that's the best way I like to explain it. Again, iClone 7, the software, Motion Live is a plugin, and then within Motion Live you have different profiles to get the body, face, or hands motion capture. So I want to show you real quick how it works, and at the end I'll give you an idea of what I'm doing in the background. Remember, as I said previously, is that you have, we introduced Perception Neuron Pro very soon. Perception Neuron Pro is already working with iClone 7 and also with the plugin. So we're going to showcase 2 different computers in this demo. You need to have one computer running Perception Neuron 2.0. We're having the other computer running Perception Neuron Pro. And essentially, I'm connecting both computers into a network so they can communicate locally, and that data could go into the Motion Live plugin. So let's go ahead and jump into the computer screens here. All right, so you can see that we split the screen for you, so you can see on the left side is Perception Neuron 2.0, on the right side is Perception Neuron Pro. This is live, this is not being pre-recorded data. I have here on the right-hand side is my colleague here, Ray. Say hi, Ray, to the public there. So we'll go back into the screen here. And as I mentioned before, you want to make sure that obviously we've already done the calibration. We select our body size. Everything is good to go. And then the next step you want to do, for example, is really important, is you want to check your IP. and I'm checking also the IP for Perception Neuron Pro computer here. So this is essentially your network address for the mocap data. This is going to be very important for when you're connecting the data into iClone 7's Motion Live plugin. So I will go ahead and open iClone Motion Live, and then you'll see here that on the window, let me see if I can give some more room here. So it's broken down into two different sections here when we start getting into the connection phase. And let me make sure I press spacebar here so I can stop the data. So we have two different sections. We have the data, the first section where we want to read the different profiles. In this example, you'll see you have face capturing capabilities, you have body capturing capabilities, and also the hand. At the bottom here, you have a character list. I've populated the scene with two different characters. I have a female and I have a male. On the top side, on the right-hand side here, you have options. If you're familiar with the plugin previously with Perception Neuron plugin, you had a dialogue just showcasing different functions for Perception Neuron plugin. So this is essentially the same panel here, just unified with Motion Live. So going to the gear list here, on the top side here, we're working with the body data, and you'll see I have two different connections here. I have the first one here is 192.168.1.207, and then I have a second connection here to a different computer. So remember I said to remember the IP address. The Perception Neuron 2.0 is on a .207 IP address, and then Perception Neuron Pro is on .26. So if I go into iClone 7 Motion Live plugin, you'll see that that data is actually in there as well. So I've already set up the IP address with the port 7001. Port is actually on the broadcast TCP BBH data server port 7001. So that's already been set up there previously. And the same thing is also set up with the Perception Neuron Pro as well. So I've set up both connections here on the gear list, and I have one character selected. Make sure you have one character selected in this case because that's what we're working with. Access Neuron on my computer is working with one character. On the Perception Neuron Pro is only working with one character. So going back to iClone 7, that's all good and set up. And then the hand, I only have Perception Neuron 2.0 with the hand data. Stand by with Perception Neuron Pro. We will have hand for Perception Neuron Pro very soon. This is just for demo purposes. So once that's all selected, I have a green light. Green light, everything's good, working. And then you'll see here the character list. We have the female, we have the male, right? So in the male, you essentially select the little option here with the logo. You might get like a little hazard light icon that says there's none. In this case, it's already selected before we did the video. It's giving me two options. I have Perception Neuron. I have Perception Neuron with parentheses 0, parentheses close. Obviously, that is the same that's here in the top. So I've selected the first one for the body, and I'll select the first one for the hand as well. And then that's essentially the suit that I'm wearing. For the Perception Neuron, for the Motion Dummy male, you want to select the body. And then remember, this is the Perception Neuron Pro computer IP. That one is here with a 126, as you can see. So that one's already selected. So all in all, I have it all ready to go. I have my suit connected through the correct IP. I have the second suit, the Perception Neuron Pro, connected to the right IP. And I've also assigned it here on the character list by clicking and selecting the right source. So once that's done, next thing you want to do is click on preview. You can also hit record if you want, but we're just previewing for this case. Once I hit preview, you're going to notice that nothing has happened yet. The next thing you need to do is just press the space bar, and then there we go. You can see here that the stream is live. There's nothing pre-recorded. Everything's working as it should. and this is essentially working real time. And it's looking quite well with the whole movements. And if I had the face capturing profile, we can also include that as well. What Motion Live does is it makes it versatile, very easy to use. It's just a matter of selecting the profile on the gear list, assigning it to the IP or the source, and then assigning it to which character you want on the character list. So that simple, that easy. If you have multiple sources of data, the Motion Live is there for you to select the source and assign it to a different character as well. So that is the most important features there with iClone and Motion Live. This is available already to our previous users who've bought the solo or duals. If you go into reallusions.com website, you will see their updated software plugins that they have. When you go to our web store, you will see that there's updated bundles that include already the Motion Live and the Perception Realm profile. That's already included with new purchases going on. So how's it? Everything good with what you're doing, Rick?
Yeah.
Everything good. So yeah, you can see we can record if you want. You know, this is all being live. There's nothing nothing different out of this world here. So this is the point of this video is to showcase the new plugin that Reallusion has introduced, Motion Live, and also showcase that Perception Realm Pro does work with iClone 7, and we're using both systems simultaneously. So if those of you who have Perception Realm 2.0 are looking into buying Perception Realm Pro, this is possible. The only requirements are that we're using a network system here. We have two different computers. We have one computer running Perception Realm 2.0, and we have the second computer running Perception Realm Pro. That is the only requirement that we share with our users going forward. So I will open up to any other questions out there, just to see if anybody has any questions. Keep in mind that we do these live streams for everyone out there to join and ask as many questions as they want. If you don't have a chance to ask a question, make sure you send us an email so we can follow up with you guys. So we'll go back into the slides so you guys can see what we're going to showcase. I see a question there. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to go right back to you in a bit. So this is a quick review with what I just mentioned about Motion Live. This is the overview. Motion Live includes face capturing, body capturing, and hand capturing via profiles. When you buy the bundle on our website, we include the Perception Realm profile and the Motion Live plugin. If you are interested in getting, for example, a different profile, or like, you know, the faceware, or you know, the leap motion or something like that, you can find those profiles on Reallusion's website for sale. Those are also options. We will do possibly a tutorial in the future with adding faceware into the Perception Realm, you know, whole setup into a character. So we will be doing that in the near future. So that's in all just the quickest way we can explain it. If you know, so that you can see that there's different features here with the face capturing. They have faceware. They have faceware real time for body. They have Perception on, they have Xsense, and I think OptiTrack will be featured very soon. It's not available at the moment, but you can get OptiTrack data into Motion Live. And then for the hands, they have leap motion control, they have Perception on being the Perception on 2.0, and then Perception on Pro will have the hands very soon. So going back to the packages on the website, previously, we had iClone 7 with the iClone MoCap plugin for Perception Realm, and we had 3D Exchange. Now, when you purchase on our website, it is iClone 7 with Motion Live and Perception Realm profile, and then the 3D Exchange software as well. So that is the changes we did on our website, so that everyone can take advantage of that new feature. The prices are also updated as well for those who are interested. So let's jump into a couple of questions here. So the first question is about the hand tracking with Motion Live. The hand tracking is actually being featured with Perception Neuron 2.0, and that's how I'm able to get the data, as you can see here. That is, I'm using the hands with 2.0. Perception Neuron Pro will feature the glove function that will be introduced later this year. That is going to be a big hit for a lot of pro users who need better accuracy, less cables, and more versatile capturing. So yeah, this is right now being done with Perception Neuron 2.0. Keep in mind that's one of the best features with this suit with Perception Neuron. And let's jump into the second question. We have two mocap suits. I'm not sure about PM Pro versus Pro. What about Pro availability? Last year you sent me a link for PM Pro download. Now it's not available. How can I get it? So Perception Neuron Pro is actually on our website. If you go to neuronmocap.com, it is on for pre-orders. Right now it is introductory price at $3,999, and it'll be available, ready for shipping in first week of July. So it's right on the corner. It'll be ready for those who want to jump into the professional solution. So yes, Perception Neuron Pro is introducing much more accurate sensors. It'll introduce different frames per second capturing. We'll give more details that later on coming down the year, a couple of months, and we're going to be introducing the glove solution as well. Keep in mind, there's a big difference with Perception Neuron Pro and 2.0. This you guys can see here. Ray, you can see there's no cables with Perception Neuron Pro. You have flashing lights that's letting you know that there's data being transferred over. The battery life is about 2.5 hours. And charging is about an hour and a half. As far with Perception Neuron 2.0, my suit 2.0 is dependent on a battery pack. I have a battery pack right now that's about 5,200 milliamps. That lasts about 3 to 4 hours. Of course, I have to wear a battery on my pocket or somewhere that I can have it connected to my suit. So when you're dealing with performances, ballet dancers, when you're dealing with artists, talents, or something like that, this can be a little bit too much because there's a lot of cables, a lot of inconvenience with the battery pack to be portable. It's kind of it gets the job done as far as data goes, but there's obviously some visual imperfections with having the cables outside. With Perception Neuron Pro, it takes about within 5 to 7 minutes, you're ready to mocap. It doesn't take really much to put on. Sensors can be charged at the same time. They can be calibrated at the same time. And also the wireless connection is almost instant. We have a video that we did last week that's available out there so you can see the comparisons. I think the connection for the wireless was less than a minute. And you can see that Perception Neuron 2.0 took about 5 minutes. And it's just because, Perception Neuron Hub has to connect to a 2.4G router, has to be connected to a computer, to a local computer, and there's a couple of steps that you have to take. And if you're dealing with live solutions, I've been there. It can be kind of convenient. You have to tell production, hey, give me 5-10 minutes to get ready, and then you're ready to go. With Perception Neuron Pro, it's just going to get on site, plug and play, you're wireless, you're ready to go, and less than 6 or 7 minutes, you can start doing motion capture. That's the best part of Perception Neuron Pro. So next question. Why the 3D characters seem to have lag?
I missed the stream.
Well, number one, I'm running off a laptop. I am running out of a laptop that is doing, I think it's running a 1060 card. I'm running essentially iClone 7. I'm running Axis Neuron. there could be a lag about 20 to 30 milliseconds. You know, I come from like an old time Maya 2007 future or whatever you call it, and computers back then would die in this situation. Right now, the lag is maybe about 20, 30 seconds. So, you know, the fact that my computer is showing this amount of lag is not as bad. Obviously, if you're using more of a dedicated powerhouse computer, you don't have to deal with this. Just keep in mind, I am running out of a laptop. So, you know, that's one of the factors. We're also doing data transmission through network as well. So that's one of the, and we're also wireless too. So there's 3 factors: computer, wireless, and also networking as well. So those are the lags that could be introduced as well. So next question. All right, so we're out of questions. I wish we had more questions out there so that we can take care of any questions, concerns. This tutorial or this live stream is just dedicated for all those current users with using iClone 7, and then those who are curious about iClone 7's new features. If you go into relusions.com website, they have more tutorials out there, just walking through from step by step on how to connect the suits into their software with the plugin as well. There's also that option as well. So, any other questions there? So the next question is, what is the different quality mocap record body 32 free version versus iClone 7? I'm trying to capture that question. So the first one, Kirill, the question is, I'm not sure if I understand the question, but both suits come with Access Neuron. You know, Perception 2.0 works with Access Neuron. Perception Pro works with Access Neuron Pro. They're 2 different software. They're essentially the same visually under the hood. They work specifically for each and every suit. The Relusion bundles right now, if you buy it, if you're a new customer, you buy it on our website, we are giving a discount. If you buy it from the Relusion's website, they also have another introductory discount as well. So there's different options there. I'm not sure if I understood that question. I apologize for that. So the next question from Charlie, he wants to know if we'll lose connection with Perception Pro if he walks over there. So let's go ahead and try it. Let's see.
Is the follow cam on?
Yeah, let's do the follow cam.
Zero first? Okay.
Yeah, let's zero out. Okay, so focus on the perception on camera. Yeah, that one right there. Okay. So this is my colleague here, Ray, walking all the way to the back. You can see there he's getting still a good connection, and he can walk back towards where I am at. All right, so that works pretty well. You know, the Perception Pro has a good coverage distance. It can work maybe about, I think, 7 to 8 meters. 7 to 8 meters. Of course, if you're dealing with buildings, there's obviously going to be challenges there. That happens with any Wi-Fi, any signal over the air. But if you have a good open space, 7 to 8 meters will be a good coverage for Perception Pro. I think that's more than enough for capturing. So that I hope that answers your question. All right, so I think that's all the questions here. I don't want to bore you guys to death here. Again, these live streams are made for all of our users, current, future. If we didn't capture any questions, that maybe you're watching this video afterwards and you have a couple of questions, just make sure that you send us an email at contact@neuronmocap.com. And actually, let me go ahead and put that on the screen so you guys don't forget. Again, contact@neuronmocap.com. And I think we have another question. That is, what do you call it? Omnidirection. It's 7 to 8 meters omnidirection. That's a question from Charlie again. So is the next question? Yeah, the radius. Yeah. So the next question is, can you clean up the mocap data inside of iClone 7? Yes, you can. That's what I love about iClone 7. iClone 7, for example, you can go ahead and record the data. Just hit record, do your motion, however you will, right? Press spacebar. I'm doing this on the fly, so if I press play, okay, that was recorded live. I can go into the timeline here, and I can start, editing the animation if I want. You guys know that there's also a video out there on the curve editor. If I go to the curve editor, you can also you can clean up data from the characters as well if you want. There's a video on that that I would recommend all our users to check out. These are all features that Relution has made available for all sorts of backgrounds, from beginners to professionals. You can get the mocap data, face capturing data all together, and also edit that motion capture data on the fly. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. So the question is, free version of Access Neuron versus iClone bundle, $750. I'm still trying to understand that question.
Do we have a free version of Access Neuron?
Well, Access Neuron is already free. It's already included with every purchase of Perception Run, as long as you register on our website, neuromocap.com/warranty registration. Once you register, then you have access to Access Neuron. We will make also Access Neuron Pro available with Perception Run Pro going forward. The iClone bundle, that is as an added software features that we have for those who want to extend the future of motion capture. Remember, these suits give you the data. With Access Neuron, you can capture, record, and export, and that data is essentially like raw data. When we introduced the iClone bundle, it's you said it's an added cost because obviously it's the bundle with the software. That's taking the motion capture to the next level. Thanks to iClone 7, you can map that motion data you can put into your character. You can start editing the data, the face capturing data, etc.
Yeah,
so
that could have been like any character. It didn't have to be a robot.
yeah, that could be any character. So that's the beauty of iClone 7. You can put any character essentially. I've put the Perception on robot there, and I've animated him as well. It was quite fun. So it's just, that's the price difference. Why? Because it's software. iClone 7 is an added software that lets you complete the whole from beginning to end with character animation, either through live or recorded data. All right, so next question. All right, I think that's all for questions. And we're going to jump into the next portion of this live stream. And so let's go to the slide here. And let's jump into the end. So just a quick update. This past weekend, we were very excited to be joining Miami VR. It was Miami's first VR event. You all know that we're going to all over the world. We've gone to SIGGRAPH, we've gone to locations, conferences in Europe, all over the world, even in Japan. This was the very first Miami VR Expo. So it was quite exciting to see a lot of our friends, users. We had a lot of questions, a lot of more people interested in our solution, motion capture solution. That was great to do. This is one of the pictures of the event. And we were also showcasing, of course, Perception On plus Face Rig. You guys are all familiar with that feature that we have on our website. It's a bundle. Face Rig and Perception On let you do full character, presentation, like digital signage. Imagine talking to an audience and just being a gingerbread man. This is my colleague here, Sal. He was actually helping us out for that day, and he was doing Gingerbread Man, and we had a quite good feedback from a lot of local kids out there. So that was quite fun. So in this event, we were so excited. We're happy to be part of this local event that was down the street from us. We wanted to donate Perception kits, and we had a lot of interest on this, and we want to also do an announcement. So we're gonna make an announcement on the Perception 32 kit winner, and I hope they're watching, or we have a couple of people watching out there. And I want to make the announcement that we have picked a winner, and the winner for the Perception 32 kit is, drum roll. We got the drum roll. All right, so the winner is Gaston Gersi. Gaston Gersi, if you're not watching this video, we'll contact you or email you. Thank you again for everyone who passed by our booth this weekend. It was June 8th through the 10th, I believe. And everyone who stopped by the booth had a chance to enter for this raffle of Perception kit giveaway. And we have the winner here, so we'll contact you after this live stream and just get some more information from you to get that kit to you. So that wraps it up for today, and a big thank you to everyone who was watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you guys next coming week. I want to thank Ray, who was also on this stream here. We're trying to keep getting more people involved here with live streams as we go forward. You all saw my good old colleague Nina, who was there last week, showcasing Neuron Pro. This week I have Ray, who's showcasing Neuron Pro. So thank you everyone who's watching. We'll keep this video up there on YouTube. Again, send us an email at contact@neuronmocap.com, and we'll continue afterwards. And thank you guys. Till next time, we'll keep these live streams going. Thank you.